the potential going there. I gotta find out how much those guys make.
Yeah.
Like my job in the podcast, we'd have to get rid of the podcast if I was an agent there.
Yeah.
I'd make more doing this than I would as an agent.
Right. And it's like,
I want to travel, and it's like fun.
That's what I said on Twitter. I responded to somebody. I was like, dude, and just from what I know at Disco, and working with him for a few years and all that, dude's the most comfortable guy with his life ever. He doesn't want to change anything. He likes his job. He likes going out to get his dinners. He likes being free to watch sports. You know what I mean? Like, and he's not going to want to add travel to that for what? You know what? Whatever.
Yeah, but one thing that I've been doing is that I would never want to give up again. I love on Sunday going to the sports bar and watching all the football games.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing that for like 30 years almost. Okay, even when I wasn't, when I was wrestling, I couldn't be. But when I'm out of wrestling, I just love doing that. I would hate to have to travel and miss my football Sundays again. You know. Next is from a big rig from the Mid-Atlantic, and the subject is workout pointers.
Did you look for that thing, Joe?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Yeah, it's still doing it.
Recently, there have been more questions regarding working out, and that is awesome. Working out is the bee's knees. My question is, would you feel as one for team members' workout routines, maybe a bi-monthly segment, you review someone's workout regimen or video, and help them improve on their form and or workout plan? If the K100 crew were to set up some kind of contest for members in an effort to promote healthier living, and a winner was chosen based on progress over the next many months, I would donate several gym shirts to first place. And that's from our boy Big Rig, that independent worker that's a fan of the show. Now, I'm not going to... No, if anybody needs help working out, go to your gym and get a trainer. Because all you really... And you don't really need, like, my advice, because workouts are tailored different for different people. So just, bro, there's so much information on YouTube. Like, hey, can you give me a beginner workout plan and beginner diet if I want to lose 10 pounds? And you just look that up, and they'll give you go on AI and do that, on Grok. You know? So I'm not interested in doing that. Are you interested in doing that, Glenn?
No, man.
And plus, too, we're the number one... Our community is number one in sales for, what's it called, Legacy Subs. They call us a supplement company, which I'm very proud of.
I'm down with them.
You probably look at most wrestling fans and get a visual picture of them. They do not look like they use Legacy Subs, do they? So you don't look like you use Legacy Subs.
I'm on and off. I hate to be a bad representative of the product. So.
All right, next is from Aaron Gilliard from Philly.
I don't want nobody attacking me. Leave me alone.
Especially with you and JBL commentary. It looked more like a WWE style of matches with the AAA twist as the style that we're going to see. Is that the style we're going to see more of? P.S. Disco Delco Joe said you skipped my question last week. All right.
Yeah, it was a miss. Yeah.
Are people complaining that there's too much of a... Oh, well, a lot of the American fans, Conan, were going apeshit over the heel ref. I think that's the first time that they've been introduced to that.
Right.
That the heel refs... It's funny when you see the comments, what the F is it? This is kind of like, like the... So, yeah, they don't get it.
Let's try this one, man.
Before.
Yeah.
Been, the Hebners, Nick Patrick. Neil Patrick.
But is that the question? Is WWE style with the AAA twist, or is it still just lucha?
That's what it looks like at this moment. I mean, anything's, like I said in the Hall of Fame speech, when maybe you didn't understand because it was in Spanish, I said, I really want to see what this is going to look like in a year and what it's going to look like. That's what I've never beaten. So many things can change. Let's try it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I have this summary. It breaks it down into 6 different sections. So I'll just read it. All right. Vince expresses frustration about the ongoing collaboration with Disco, stating that they pay Disco and promote him regularly, but they feel unappreciated. Vince and Jeff emphasize that they do not speak negatively about Disco or K100 on their own platform, yet they are tired of the situation and consider stopping the professional relationship with him. Vince also mentioned they feel like they are being made to look foolish for continuing the partnership. Vince recounts being invited to K100 alongside Ben Heyman, but was hesitant to do it due to past insults directed at Ben from the show. They highlight the contradiction.
Absolutely not true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I respond to many people like, dude, I think everyone here enjoys Ben. So,
here's the they think this is me bearing Ben. Me saying I got DMs from guys that they don't really have a lot of respect for Ben. The WWE guys DM me, and me saying we kind of think that's ridiculous because we find Ben very smart.
Yeah,
that's literally what we said. But the fact that I brought it up, that people are burying Ben, is apparently in their rules, because they're making all the rules that they're supposed to act like on these shows, right? They're the rule makers. So I guess their rules, you're not allowed to say that because it's buried Ben, even though we put Ben over every time.
Yeah.
So, and then I think Vince's very smart. I like talking to him.
Yeah.
You know?
They highlight the contradictions of being asked to invite someone who's been discredited by the same people who now want him on the show. Despite the reservations, Vin expresses willingness to appear on the show, leading Vince to communicate this to Joe. Vince articulates frustration with Disco's tendency to dominate conversations, making it difficult for others to contribute meaningfully. Vince feels that during discussions, Disco often interrupts and belittles the opinions, which leads to feelings of anger and frustration. Effective communication in podcasting involves a back-and-forth exchange, which they feel Disco fails to uphold. Let's see. The concerns are primarily about the communication dynamics rather than the history of insults. And the explanation was twisted into a narrative, and they did not intend to highlighting the challenges of miscommunication in their interactions. Okay, so that's all that happens. You're going to hear their problem WWE takes on the show.
What's the last part?
Vince notes that the explanation was twisted into a narrative that they did not intend, highlighting the challenges of miscommunication in their interactions.
And the whole thing is because the guy said that he said that Rhea Ripley wasn't over. He said that Vince said that Vince didn't say that, but that's absolutely like something that Vince, if you listen to Vince's show, it's something that you would think would come out of his mouth. He literally just had a thing. He buried Bayley. Bailey is not over. That was one of his big YouTube clips. So I would have think it's a Rhea Ripley is not over that we would think that's untrue. All right, but it was he never said that, so it was actually put Rhea over, which is to his credit. That's very Rhea. But they're freaking out over that is so stupid. Let's say they're very childish over there. Like this, they don't handle criticism like mature adults. And they look at Vince blocks people, mutes his, he's just he does not handle criticism well. And I've supported the guy for years, but he's been saying a lot of ridiculous things lately that I keep bringing up. I'm like, dude, how can you just continue to bury the WWE when this is the other dumb thing he said. He goes, you can separate creative and making money. Like, they're not really concerned. You can have bad creative and still make money. I go, when has that ever happened? Like, he didn't show me history where that's happened. And I would suggest the only time that's ever happened is Vince writing for the WWE during the Attitude Era. You could argue because he was having guys chopping dicks off and, like, the higher power. All these crazy angles.
Wait a minute. All of that's going to take a back seat to the tremendous work he did at Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling,
which was great work. But I'll say this: anybody could have criticized that, but Vince had the attendance and viewership numbers to back up that it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. And that's why the buildings were sold out. It's not a difficult concept. And the thing is that they had not realized. A lot of people haven't realized. Meltzer hasn't realized this. That the landscape of viewership has completely changed. Way more people are watching this on other things other than television than it is. Way more. And you can just see the numbers this week. It's just like, 1.7 million views, with the U.S., for Netflix over 7-day print. It's like, yeah, I'm looking, there's 10 million other views on social media stuff. So it's like, add those figures. So, all right, we get a suspension appeal. It's the mayor, but not a cable company. Get this out first. Last week I asked for a number to Disco's club and Cornet suspended because it said elsewhere. It said elsewhere on the show. Fair point, except that reason. My appeal comes an apology for appeal rules, and I apologize. And request to not be suspended due to being another opportunity for marketing quick. Well by the popular, so why not?
Stupid camera angle.
Yeah, I like him. Let's give him a chance.
Alright, my question this week is food related. Currently I'm losing weight. I pitched the scale when I started. I was 367 pounds. About 4 to 5 weeks I'm down to 351. I want to start meal prepping and quickly find out there are a million foods and such for info. Any suggestions on a good meal plan to follow to lose weight or content creating suggested the breakfast recipe? I'm staying away from bread and soda. Protein, dietary fiber, water intake is way up. No fast food. Thanks. P.S. Urban haters sit on
I ain't getting
toilet
nothing.
beds and we're wiping it down. They're asked to seek contact.
I'm sorry about that.
Durbin, because he's got heat with all those guys that hate Durbin too,
He's
right?
on Mike's side there. Yeah, he's on Mike's side.
Yeah, interesting.
Let me tell the mayor guy something. The same thing that Disco told the other guy. Really, you're asking us for meal prep? Bro, just go to YouTube. Just go online. I mean, you know what not to eat. You know what to eat, basically. You don't even have to look online,
The only thing I would say is when we had factor meals on here, that seems to be a pretty good system. Of course,
It is good, yeah.
So, Mayor, I would say go to Factor Meals, check out if you like what they got, and then I think our code probably is still active.
And
So
you
get
get
the 900 for a free month.
and get the keto options.
Yep.
It's high protein, high fiber, and low carb. All right. Well, I lost 16 and then plus 2 intermittent fasting, 18 6 intermittent fasting. Hola again. I know this gets me suspended, but I just read that Chris Jericho's contract with AEW is over at the end of the year. Do you think there's a chance he signs with WWE to finish his career and be inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame? Thanks again. That's from Mr. Wonder. Hey, your dad?
Yeah.
Didn't we suspend him from the mailbag?
No, for a week and whatnot, but nothing permanent.
All right. There actually is a chance of that. It's one of two options. Either when he signs with AEW, he goes back to WWE and gets in the Hall of Fame.
Once we heard his contract ended, we did. I've been saying Rumble for a while. I think he's going right back. And there was a little tiny internet controversy where there was an article posted on Instagram that was like, will Jericho leave AEW and return to WWE and be inducted and all that? And Jericho liked the article. And people were like, whoa, that means he's gone, you know? So,
Right.
but Chris does that. He's smart.
He knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Hey, Killer 102, Group Tech and H-Tech.
Hold on, you missed Chris from the Moon.
Oh, yeah, I did. Hello, this is Chris. Hey, fellas, this is Chris from the Moor. I asked this question for Conan last month, but did not hear the answer. When Rey Mysterio came to AAA in 2015, were there talks for him to win the Mega Championship, or was he a special attraction during that period?
There were talks of him winning the championship, and that basically exacerbated some of the problems I already had in AAA because it was going to be Mysterio versus Mystico with no build-up. They were both baby faces. It really made no sense except there was a rematch. I was really against it, and that ended up with me leaving the company. But yeah, we were talking about him for the belt.
AK100 Group Tech and H-Tech. So just Triple Mania. AK100 Group football as well. Triple Mania from the weekend was more entertaining than any AEW show in the past few years. To all of you, how could a billionaire not produce an entertaining wrestling show, but a lucha libre product can entertain you more without knowing the majority of the characters, storylines, or the product in general? P.S. The tribute to Tony going to the AAA Hall of Fame is lost. Arriba de la Raza. DPS. Tony, have you heard anything about what can happen when Chad Gable returns in regard to El Grande Americano and Midweek Kaiser?
No, I have not. I bet you as he gets closer to returning, I will.
Right. Yeah, he's busted up though, right? Yeah, me?
Not sure what it is.
Shoulders? Eddie Nichols from Los Angeles. What's up, Kevin Hedger? This week my question is for Kobe. What exactly does a heckler say during the Hall of Fame induction that made you tell him to F his mom's wife? By the way, Chicken Missouri and King and Real enjoyed the commentary with JBL, K-Dog, and Craig Millions. Thank you guys for all the tremendous weekly content. We answered this question in the intro with our discussions. El Grande Batman de Boca, California. El Grande Batman de Boca, California. Russo blocked me for this exchange that happened before you guys talked about it in last week's show. All I did was kindly point out his backpedaling. Very safe. And that's a letter to the backpedaling, so it's just, I don't know what to say. Oh, he's talking about when he was saying he wasn't going to watch wrestling. Alright, whatever. Okay, so Botman's. I'm not a brand member because I'm not a chump, but I've always been supportive of the guy and emphasized with his past treatment to the wrestling community, even though the guy does himself no favors by opening his mouth. The only time I said anything questionable to him is when I told him not to love to eat a burger since he was getting too skinny and wasn't a good look. How can he be so soft yet do castrated the marks? Reply did. His tweet was clearly a backpedal trying to reframe his meaning of not watching wrestling after D.I. clued him in on watching the show on YouTube and keeping his subscribers happy. Anyways, what do you guys think of the fact that there's a Rothschild Island in Antarctica, which is a continent no nation claims for no law? That island is just miles away from the Antarctic pyramid. And Rothschild translates to child of Ra, which means child of God. What about the conspiracy that the Rothschilds have ruled the Earth since before the pyramid? The only thing is beneath the ice, Atlantis, spaceship. Also, if you allow it, Delco Joe, you submit my question last week since it was skipped. You got condemning notice for a social media post. I sent the videos to your ex.
What's up to you?
What was that?
I was just kind of saying Mordos looks like a bitch because of the posts that he does. They're always involved in Mercedes. They're on, they're doing working out together.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
They're on carnival rides or something, whatever this is.
What about the Rothschilds? I thought nobody was supposed to be in Antarctica. So.
No, Antarctica, like, it's claimed by, like, 6 countries, and they all made the territorial markings and all that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like frozen tundra with penguins and fucking you know, there's really nothing there unless there's something underneath, you know, that so many countries are. You know, when you see so much interest, like when you see that Bezos and Musk and all these people want to go to the moon or Mars, something's up. And all these people have a stake in the Antarctica. Maybe something's up. Maybe something is under there. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, but
Right. But that guy goes, you think there's a spaceship or some other shit under there, bro? Anything's possible, but I'm of the belief of until you show me proof, you know, I don't, you know.
right. It's all conspiracy theories.
Right.
Alex from North Jersey said he's carrying across too much. I can't hold it. My question about whether the perception carried across is that he's too nice of a guy. Bruce Pritchard often explains the wrestler doesn't excel because they're too nice for him. A while back, their body mentioned the video was a backstage perception across the percent. One could argue that it's funny Billy usually support this. I mean, the guy's a star. She really filled it, what cheap guy says. The disappointing villain in WWE because everybody was a great performer. But do you think being seen as too nice or sensitive backstage hurt? And more broadly, do you both agree that some performers do not succeed because they're perceived that way by managers? Wondering this might also apply to something like Jinder Mahal, who, like Cross, I felt should have had a longer, more sustained main event. Sincerely, the Alex from North Jersey. I don't know. I'm not backstage with the guy, you know? I mean, he's a nice, super nice guy, very respectful, very smart, very educated, well educated in a lot of issues, you know? He does a lot of reading, too, like, he's got his pulse on some things. I don't know. I can't comment on situations I have absolutely no clue what's going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he confronted Billy. Basically, Billy spread a rumor about his wife, and then he came up to Cross's autograph table, like trying to be buddy for understanding Cross's autograph. You know, you got balls coming over, fucking apologize, which I think any man.
He browbeat him.
Yeah.
He didn't like
that.
I think people wanted to probably beat him up, but he's not like that. He probably browbeat him and made him just sorry for it.
Well, when he was Billy went backstage a few times that night and got the boot, but when he was back there, I know Cross and Scarlett saw him, and I think Scarlett told someone, get this guy the fuck out of here before Kevin gets really fucking pissed. You know, so it could have happened.
Next is from Jason Turk. Oh wait, by the way, did you answer this question for me? What's your take on it? About Cross?
Well, he's just nice to his friends, and he's, you know, but I don't think they perceive him as being too nice. I don't know. I've heard nothing about what's going on with him, but sometimes in this business, unfortunately, being too nice can work against you.
Jason Turpin from Minnesota. Hey guys, one of my questions is clear two pieces of misinformation from last show. First, Joe Feeney declared the Disco dead, doing hashtag fake news. Second, Disco claimed his Falcons were set up for a good season. Straight disinformation. I feel like there's already a division, write it down. My question for Conan, saw this old AAA press conference with you and Tanya Harding pop up in my feed. What is the story behind it? Like the Tanya Harding story with AAA. You get that?
Yeah, do you want to see this, Conan? I mean, we've done it before, but do you want to see what? It's the video of the press conference with you and all.
How long is it?
A couple minutes. 90 seconds. Here we go.
Tanya Harding's been chastised before about the company she keeps, and the cast of characters that surround her are, well, shall we say...
You like the sailor?
No, you never know what Tanya like that.
Please go back to the sailor and the guy next to him, Joe. That's a great couple.
Harry?
Who's in the sailor outfit?
Thought it was you, but go ahead.
His glasses.
You never know what Tanya like that. He is Harlan Fence, and he couldn't get more pathetic. World-class company barely keeps a straight face about this serious business. This is promoting a professional wrestling match. Men in the mask, by the way, are from Mexico. And those serious wrestlers did their best to promote their fight card to hype Hardy.
She's not one that had everything given to her. She worked for everything she had, and she proved her name and built herself, and look where she's at now.
Yeah, okay. Let's take a look. An Olympic figure skater.
No, I didn't want that. I've beaten it already.
Of a rival's knee, now on probation and promoting athletes to perform full Nelsons, not triple acts.
It's exciting to be here and to be part of this group of wonderful people, wonderful wrestlers, and great athletes.
That's about all Tanya had to say. The wrestlers did the rest of the talking, and they know how to hype the show. So with Tanya on the card, the media will show up. bad news here, man. Info.
So those last two guys that we're talking was Mondo and Chavo Guerrero, Eddie
Right.
brothers.
I saw, yeah. I know.
The guy in the suit was Love Machine.
Right?
So
Hey,
Love
nice.
Machine, Eddie Guerrero, Gringos Locos, probably the best tag team I've ever seen in Mexico. But his dad was the promoter in Portland, Oregon. His name was Sandy Barr,
And she was
David
important, right?
which I always used to give him heat because I said his dad had a very manly name. So Sandy Barr was the dad, and he ran the promotion. And Tanya's from Portland, and she was the hottest thing in the news, so we used her for an angle for her to go up with the heels, which was Eddie and Love Machine, right? I don't know why Eddie wasn't there, but she seemed very, very like a lot of people, and we've seen this with Ronda Rousey and others. She seemed very overwhelmed with everything. Like she was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, right. She looked like she was completely lost.
She was. Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And so, and there was a good, you know what I'm saying? A good clickbait, if you will, you know what I'm saying?
So go ahead and do this. Yeah, TS from Jason Kirby from NFL. It says, any chance Feeney could use his connections with one of the gambling sponsors to set up a K100 NFL Survivor?
Yeah, I mean, I'll check. I'll look into it.
See if anybody's interested in that. I do
Yeah.
Survivor.
Yeah. Okay, so
Those are reasons.
yeah, what is that? I
You
don't know.
pick a team each week and you can't use the same team twice. You have
Yeah,
just to
okay.
win, right? Just to win the game.
Ryan, wasn't it a thing where Tanya was supposed to be the ringside manager, but the athletic commission wouldn't let her get near the ring, so she had to sit rows back, and then the heels had to walk out to her for her manager.
I think she was actually sitting, that might have happened because now that I remembered it, she was actually sitting in a limousine, and then the sunroof was open and she was like sitting and you could see her. Matt Farmer, who I could believe listens to the show, he lives in Portland. I think he was there, he would know. So Matt, if you're listening, can you, I may be misremembering.
And I mean, if I'm wrong about the Discord, that's not, I just heard people don't talk as much in there as it was when it started. I'm glad people still enjoy it.
Conan, guess what?
Oh, what up?
We have some great news.
All right.
It's 52ps.com.
With libido, it helps with your energy levels, it helps with your workouts. I mean, testosterone, that's why guys over 40 years old are just running to get the TRT therapy, you know what I'm saying? Cut works. So we use these products ourselves, you can't go wrong with them. So get healthy, stay healthy with Legacy Subs. Boom.
Okay, so they were on the rant and you whatever. Okay, and basically lead to that was the reason we commented is something obviously Vince would say, right? So jump to next week. Okay, so then, all right, this week, the original email sent us in an apology because he said that he did what he posted was a quote from Rhea Ripley from 3 years ago. Okay, Vince said Rhea Ripley isn't over, actual quote. All right, so Vince did say that. So when he set the record, it says he never said that. And something, it's like, wait a minute, you did say this. It's like, so our point of we were commenting on it because that is something you would obviously say is absolutely correct. So there's no just because you did say it 3 years ago. Okay, so then Jeff Blaze, they can never bash Meltzer and dirt cheats when their source of news is the mailbag and the Facebook group said they don't fact check anything. Well, but you guys should have fact checked yourself. Just to set the record, you said Vince never said that. But he did say that 3 years ago. You set the record and saying, I said that 3 years ago, but that's not my opinion today. That would have been setting the record straight. So are we on the right page? Am I being pretty simplistic in my explanation here? Everybody agree with this, Joe? You and Conan?
Yeah, I got you.
Do you agree? This is pretty easy to follow up. Show the next week. So I said, okay, I am not wrong. Rhea Ripley is not over as a headline reported of something you said and claimed you didn't. You should have fact checked yourself. The fact would have been, I might have said it since all I do is carry WWE for years now. So then the funny thing is, but don't take us down.
Well, I have to change it individually when I change the screen.
Well, just keep up the one you had, okay? So since no, Joe, don't put. Go back to the one I just had. All right. So then the one on the right. I said those exact words today on the last episode of Time Out that I recorded without you. The fact is that you and Conan framed it
Like I just made that statement about her today. You know it and I know it. Hang on a second, dude. You said last week you didn't say it. Now you're moving the goalpost. Okay, when you didn't realize you had actually said it before, you're moving the goalpost and said that we were trying to frame it like you said when you didn't even know that you hadn't said it yet. How would we know? So we look towards something that you said that you obviously said. And that's it. That's the discussion. But they're trying to say now that we should have known that he said that 3 years ago when he didn't even know he said that 3 years ago. So something like that, bro, this guy's freaking out. But I'm like, dude, whatever. He keeps calling us shills. I want to jump out there. Let's fast forward. Hey, when I die and I never worked for the WWE, to put on my grave, I was never looking for a job there, right? But I'm not going to go work there. I make enough money doing this, but I just want to get that out that Vince and Jeff they're trying to move the goalpost down after saying that he never said it. Now we say it. I did say it, but it was 3 years ago. Well, you should just said that right off the bat. There'd be no problem here. That's all you had to say. I said that 3 years ago. But now they're still mad at us because we're framing it like you said today. It's like, yeah, because we thought that's something you would say today, and so did you. Except you didn't think you'd ever said it. Or whatever. So that's it. This way, think another way. Now we're done with that. Fine.
Did you want to talk about the last tweet?
He's talking about 3 years ago. He's just stupid. He's changing the whole thing from him saying I never said it to saying okay, I did say it 3 years ago, but you tried to. It's like, come on, dude. You said you never said it, but you had said it before, which is what we thought it's something that you would say, which you had. Period.
Now this motherfucker want to move.
So he actually canceled Time Out, though. You're no longer doing a show with Vince.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Vince is like trying to talk to a brick wall, you know? Like, we could talk about like, he doesn't believe the social media numbers. He thinks they're good, Netflix the numbers are down from 5.9 million. It's like, dude, let me read you something here. Conan, they actually are trying to forward this ridiculous argument that the Netflix numbers are down from 5.9 million. How many years of episodic television has the WWE done, Joe?
Well, Brawl
They're right on that damn.
So how many thousands? It's well over thousands of shows, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I want to read you just a small sample size.
Now you want to come out.
This is the argument that they're forwarding. Okay, so to make it simple for people to understand, right? The Miami Dolphins are your 2023 Conan. That's one of your teams, right?
Right.
Okay, against Los Angeles, they scored 36 points. Game 2 against New England scored 24 points. Game 3 against Denver, they scored 70 points. Game 4 against Buffalo, they scored 20. Game 5 against New York, they scored 31. Game 6 against Carolina, 42. Game 7 against Philadelphia, 17. Well, their argument is saying, like, they scored 17 points against Philadelphia. That'd be like saying, well, they're down 53 points from their scoring because they scored 70 points 5 weeks ago. That's how stupid that argument is. No, you average 30 points a game, which is like basic. They try to fudge numbers and like, I don't know, man. It's like hopeless what they're trying to do. They're trying to, paint this picture that WWE sucks, which is in this landscape where they're making so much money, keep getting raises, keep making deals, keep getting raises on their rights fees. The ESPN couldn't even wait to start the beginning of the year now, Cody. You see that? ESPN started their shows. It's in Denver. It's like
next Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm like, no, it's in September, isn't it? September 20th, I thought.
Okay, yeah, you're right. The one that's competing with AEW.
We're speaking of WWE. Let's get into
let me ask you real quick. So, Joe, what do you think about this whole thing? I know you're a big admirer of Jeff Lane because you guys both do the same thing, but what do you think about this whole thing?
I think that they were way too touchy about it. They know how the show rolls, and Vince has known Disco for decades, and known me for decades. Nobody's taking personal shots. Nobody's trying to harm their business, which is, I think, how Jeff kind of framed it. Like, when you say people are leaving, make it sound like this, I was just trying to find out from our audience what the problem is.
Read all the letters.
Right, because we had heard that. People saying, well, Vince is too negative. Okay, well, explain to me what made you leave Brandon. Someone wrote in, and Jeff was like, now you're fishing for negativity against our show, and it could hurt the business.
Yeah.
I just think
you can make you can make up an excuse for anything. You can justify anything. You can be offended by anything. I mean, but at the end of the day, this actually started because we got like 2 letters in 2 weeks about complaining about Vince, and I don't think we'd ever gotten that. So I asked, what's the problem over there? More people started to write in. Of course, now they look at it as us fishing for negativity because they think we have something against him. But let me explain something to Vince. The reason I don't answer him back on Twitter, bro, I get very, like, you have no idea, and very poisonous when I want to be, is because, and I've said this before, and this holds true, for you to insult me, I must value your opinion, and I don't. I really don't give a fuck what you say about me. And you're bringing up the fact that we're shills and we're this and we're that, and you're taking it somewhere else just to make yourself look good, because, and Disco used a word that I've been using for years with you, which is drama queen. You're always a victim, you're never wrong, everybody's against you, you're always right, you know, and sometimes you need to be self-introspective. We have nothing against you or Jeff, but Jeff, bro, don't come at me with your fucking lame-ass, limp dick, nothing happening. Nobody knows who the fuck you are or were before you got on Vince's show, and even then, the only people that know you are the brand members. Shut your pie hole, bro. No heat with Ben, right? Really no heat with Vince, but I will say this to Vince. It's very striking to me that when everybody piled up on you, Disco always defended you. All he's telling you is the truth. Bro, he told me, and I brought this up yesterday, he told me the truth about a month ago when he said, hey, your commentary on your words collide was not good. Did I scream? Did I stop talking to him? Did I call you in private and say, hey, I can't believe you buried me on the show? Did I tell Joe, hey, take that out of there? No, he was right. And you gotta fucking be truthful to yourself, you know? And that's the problem with you guys. You're too sensitive. It's cool for you to bury him and make this giant puppet of him and all the other shit that you've done to him, and he takes it in good nature because that's the type of person he is. But far be it for him to call you out on something which you're actually wrong on, and then you do this. But there will be no tit for tat on Twitter, you know. Any comments I make, I'll make on the show.
Yeah, I'm done. Are you ready to take your sports fandom to the next level? With the FanDuel Sportsbook app, you're always in the game. Bet on all your favorite sports. NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, college football, basketball, soccer, golf, MMA, UFC, boxing, tennis, and even niche markets like Aussie rules and lacrosse. If it's sports, putting over the company AAA, because you would bury any company that I was to say. But I was impressed with the crowd pops. There were a lot of big pops. How was your experience? How was WWE production?
I think the same. My opinion hasn't changed since I got there. Everybody's professional. Everybody's there to work. Everybody's there to collaborate, and no excuses. Whatever you're told, you have to do it. That's all there is to it. Jeremy's great to work with, you know, and you know, Corey and JBL were great to work with, and I got a lot of messages from a lot of friends I hadn't heard from in a long time, and I was very surprised by that little video package with the Penta and Black Magic and all that, and Road Dogg, and so it was a really good night. You know, it was a really good night. Great numbers all the way around.
Well, let's talk about that.
Hey, what a great...
Let's talk about
Okay, just 1 second. What a great pop when Shawn Michaels came to the ring and Triple H. Huge, bro.
Yes.
I mean, and you know, when you think about it, we grew up watching these guys. You know, you're watching actual legends that were part of Great Angles, or wrote Great Angles, or writing Great Angles right now, and they just know. You know, like remember when I used to say, Disco, that? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, remember when I used to say that? You know, when George Bush walked into a room with Cheney and motherfucking Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice, and you were like, this guy's got some smart motherfuckers around him. When a Bruce Pritchard and Heyman, and you know,
were they all there?
Heyman wasn't there, neither was Bruce.
This was his Hunter and Sean NXT guys, right?
Yeah, I think it came up for the ring introduction.
That you might have seen Chief Espanol Conan. The Hunter said basically, it's a huge surprise to him. Like he's like, if you would have asked me 20 years ago, or told me that 20 years in the future, Undertaker would be such a major part of AAA creative, it's like I wouldn't believe.
So here's another question: who was a fan that you cussed out when you were doing your ceremony? What did the guy say?
I don't know who he is, but
What did the guy say to you?
The whole night he'd been fucking with people.
Right.
But what really got me pissed off is that I don't need to tell you, because you know this as a fact, how much I love Aaliyah, my goddaughter, and Angie, and they were going back at each other. And I said, you know what, enough's enough with this fucking clown.
So he was mouthing off in the crowd to those girls.
Yeah.
Oh, so then you went off on, that's when you went off.
Right.
Right. I get it.
And here's the funniest part. The funniest part is, you know, the people could have really reacted negatively, but they all popped because they were like, this guy deserves it. He's being a dick.
Everybody around there knew what was going on, and you cut the right. The guy was being an asshole to everybody.
Right, he got burned 3 times by me.
Joe, I sent you a clip. Pull that up. I love how the Braves now, with the month to go in the season, decided to start playing.
Yeah, I know, right.
What do you say?
Triple Mania, WWE sent out their usual deal about all these records.
Some of which were fully made up. I mean, it was legitimately a sellout. It was the biggest gate they ever had it's probably the biggest gate for pro wrestling ever in Mexico, because in the old days they didn't do ticket prices like they charge now. Gate wise, I'm sure they set a record. Attendance wise, it was probably the biggest Triple Mania in several years. You know, I think they claimed like record viewership, and that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if they're gonna,
They claim the highest grossing and most viewed Triple Mania.
Yeah, it can't be the most viewed because
in history.
Triple Mania was on network TV in the past in Mexico. I mean, that's going to be way more views. They've done millions. Dr. Wagner and the Psycho Clown mask match aired right after, I think right after a giant boxing, and did like giant numbers. I mean, really beyond. I mean, even if you way beyond anything the show did. So I mean, that the idea was the most viewed. Again, they've had Triple Manias on network television in Mexico that were much bigger.
Yeah, but I don't think he gets it. The viewership is not just net with the previous wrestle. When they were
it came out of nowhere.
I still don't think these guys understand the level of viewership you're getting on all these other media platforms. And I mean,
that motherfucking bitch came out of nowhere.
Well, I was going to say the same thing because, you can say, oh, yeah, back in our days, Team Raw and Nitro would bring 10 million people. Yeah, there's only one way to consume it. There's so many different ways. You can't tell me that, I mean, I don't know how to
you can't beat them.
But the product's super high, and that's all that matters. As far as the highest Triple Mania, I still hold that record, which is Triple Mania won 50,000 people, which I'm sure one day WWE will go into.
You made us look bad.
Azteca.
You made us look
100,000.
You made us
like that bitch. But I don't know anything about the numbers. Either way, I don't care. I just read, the press releases, and we have meetings like the company meeting every week, and then you hear numbers there. But I don't really pay too much attention. I just know the product was hot because you can tell by the amount of people that write me shit,
Right. Yeah, you know when something's hot.
Right.
You've been doing this for so long, like when the shit's hot. Like you get a lot of feedback. Like Jesus, like
everybody's to make sure.
Yeah, everybody's watching this. It's like but it's kind of interesting too. It just shows you in Mexico. And this is like the first time you guys have done this. Like, the American wrestlers kind of like the Americanized. When they're seeing these American wrestlers come over there, it's a draw. It's been a draw in CMLL. It's a draw here. It was a draw in AAA. When you were using the AEW guys, the CMLL used it like they were a draw. Now it's like the WWE stars are coming down. It's like holy shit. Just imagine the Mexican people think like they're getting WWE stars on these shows now.
You can't build them.
So it's like, I thought it was
the thing is, they're having fun. A lot of them have never been there. They're exposed to another culture, food, style, everything, And I think every single person that came down had a great time. Mexico's, it's cool, bro. Yeah, it's violent, but it's no different than going into Chicago and hanging out on the South Side. And then fucking, and wondering why you got fucking mugged. You know what I'm saying?
So how's it working with the WWE guys?
What you say, Joe?
That or Delco. Delco in Mexico, probably the same amount of danger.
You're a dangerous guy.
But let me say this: how does it work with the WWE guys?
I'm going to tell you something. So I love when people leave WWE and they come to AAA. This is before we started working, because they came in so polished. You know, that's the one thing you got to give them credit for. You know, all those people are media savvy. You know, they're just well dressed, polished. You know, and easy to work with.
Sure, that's right.
Right.
Hey,
Right. One thing else we're gonna ask you.
I'm better than you. You never beat me. You can never beat me.
It's going to be a big show, but it's funny that Dave was on his way talking about how CMLL is the hottest company on the planet right now. That's just like yeah, it's like the hottest company.
It's better than WWE.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see them go to other countries and stuff.
yeah, good stuff. I was impressed. You definitely,
I don't need
you
to.
guys know
I don't
what
need
to
to.
do. You got the viral spots. I love the way that Q was it the WWE production crew? Everybody coming in? Was it you?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were training them.
Right, and you love how like they shot the Mr. Wanted Demon thing.
Right.
You know, they had the purple shots.
Right.
You know, the thing that yeah, it's just that they. I mean, you just have what's the morale like backstage with the you know the AAA guys and like knowing that WWE guys are coming to go.
I think the morale is very high. Just you've got two types of thinking. One is when they start making cuts, am I going to be one of the guys get cut, or am I going to stay? I think that might be the main.
Yeah, we must make it's competitive.
Right.
Well, that you know, all these guys have been resting on their laurels. Hey, and I got oh shit, I gotta work hard and perform well. I can't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So just because I'm over in Mexico doesn't even mean if you're over in the U.S.
Right. Yeah, well, good stuff. I wanted to bury a lot of the stuff, and I was actually talking a lot of the spots.
Yeah. So yeah.
I was working almost because you haven't had the nicest thing to say about his work on the show.
No, he did not say hi to me either, so I'm sure you heard it.
Right.
Who didn't say hi to you?
But he did good though, right?
He seemed to like, yeah, he did real good. He's massive. I don't know if he got bigger,
Right.
but he is absolutely massive.
Well, you didn't give him the cross treatment there. Just have him come in and just like, you know what you could do with him?
I know
almost?
they like him, so you never.
Here was two ideas that I came out with creating from that show. Number one, you could make almost we could redo the 911 character from a version of that from ECW. You know that's like literally all the do guy. He comes like things are going wrong and everything, and then he comes out. You know, like you said,
Right.
And the number two thing, let me read you what Dave said about why the ego is getting booed.
Right.
Did you see this?
No.
All right.
I've been out of the loop, bro. Like I told you before, when I go to work, I'm not looking on my phone.
Right. Yeah, you working. Oh, by the way, how was it? How was your health this weekend? Because it's like the first time that you come back from a trip, you look and sound fine. Like you're.
Well, it wasn't exhausting as the other
No.
one. Remember, the other one what broke me down was I flew from San Diego to Orlando, which is
Right.
5 hours.
Right.
Worked my ass off in Orlando for 2 days with hardly
Right.
any sleep,
Right.
and then flew 5 hours from Orlando to LA. So when I got there, I was exhausted. I hadn't traveled like that in many, before, bro.
Right.
We were traveling 30 days, working out, partying, fucking, you know what I'm saying, and nothing, because you're young,
Right.
But it did hit me hard the last time. But I was really concerned because I know I didn't do a good job, and I didn't think they were going to call me back, and they gave me another chance.
Right. Interesting. Okay. All right. So here's what he said. What happened? This is Dave from the Wrestling Observer Radio. What happened with El Vikingo essentially? That Alberto El Patron, the really smart worker, and he worked masterfully to the treaty making job guy. And so people see this job guy as world champion. They don't hate the Kingo. They hate that he's world champion. There's a big difference because he's great. He doesn't do anything to be hated or anything. It's not like he's got the John Cena thing at all. Just people not seen as a worthy world champion, and as long as he's world champion, he's going to get booed a lot. What do you think about the accuracy of that statement?
Yeah, that's not true because when he was world champion before Alberto came back, everybody cheered him. What happened here was twofold. One, Alberto was just, like I said, bro, no disrespect to anybody, and if it is taken good, the guy was probably the best heel in any company, and so he and me and him were perfect. Like, we had the same vision of what we wanted to do.
Right.
But I
Wait
think
to the end to
really
move in.
Vikingo, is when they,
Lame
by
mother-
mistake, somebody in graphics put that he was gonna be
Oh,
the
you mean-
champion.
Right, right.
And people are like, oh, okay, so you don't want to give it to Alberto, you're going to take it off, you're going to give it to him. That's not right. Because even yesterday, and I don't know if you heard this, the people started to chant, Alberto, Alberto. And Ray actually said, don't worry, I'm going to bring him out later. And he has so much credibility, they believed him and popped.
Really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking that this would be like, because the king was getting booed, right?
Right.
But what if you did this? Is like if you like interview, like the crowd is waiting outside before the show. You know how sometimes they go and they're talking to fans, like you have these people and you're talking to the fans and are like, in line, we're waiting for the show, right?
Right.
I would send somebody out there with a mic and just ask the fans, well, why do you think the Kingo is getting so much hate? Why? And like listen to the actual fan reaction. Okay, like what the fans are saying coming in, like, you know, and splice that up and like splice the answers up into whatever narrative you want to sell going forward with them, and like a video package of why the fans are treating the Kingo like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be like a thing you could do, because like she's just gonna keep getting booed. So eventually, like, you know, like either feed into it or whatever you do. But like I think that'd be a cool thing in a video package for the fans, telling them why they dislike the Kingo. You know what I'm saying? Because it is kind of confusing. If you were watching, so why is that getting booed out of the building? You know. So
What I've seen comments wise and social media and stuff is people compare it to 2015 Roman Reigns. You know, he had the push, he was getting pushed first of all, and people were like, yeah, kind of gagging. I know, because like I said,
he was over before.
yeah,
Right.
right.
And so, you know what would have been the best thing to have done yesterday? What? I'm not saying they needed to, and I'm not saying it's time. But the most over guy in that match is Dominic. Right. If I'll and fucking done something to be Kingo, and then Dominic beats him in front splash, that place would have gone absolutely wild.
I thought it was Alberto when AJ came in the mask. I quickly saw it wasn't because I could see the eyes. I was like, oh my god, they're using Alberto. Like, this is crazy. And it wasn't. It was AJ, which is still cool. If you're looking to improve exercise performance, increase strength, enhance stamina, mental wellness, and youth, we invite you to check out theaeonman.com, TheAeonman.com, and use code WELLNESS15. You get 15% off your first order. And they even offer 10% subscribe and save orders as well. So you can start out with that 15% off, and if you keep it going, continue to get 10% off as well.
Yeah, we're always getting stuff to try, and there's a lot of stuff, as you know, Joe, that we're not going to pass on to our listeners. But this was great. These supplements of Wellness for Men has been great. The superfood proteins, you know, as you know, I'm really into nutrition now that I've gotten older, and I got to watch, you know, what I eat and what my intake is. They have like superfood protein, which builds muscles and shreds unwanted body fat. Proteins that boost the metabolic rate.
Little brother,
sugar
that's why you
craving,
go to
boost
Saturday.
immunity, nature's natural testosterone, which is actually New Zealand deer antler velvet extract. Right? There's stuff that for joint pains. So this is high quality stuff. People that are serious about their nutrition and their health, they've got everything here. Go to their website at TheAeonman, theaeonman.com. Check it out. Let us know what you think.
I checked it out, Conan, and I have the ashwagandha on the way.
Right.
And what that is it's known for supporting overall health and energy levels, but it also supports, of course, check this out, a normalized mood, and helps support the natural response to stress. So that's what I'm looking for sure. And as we update our talk about the Aeon Man here, I'll let you guys know how it panned out.
Yeah, I tried their.
Comment from Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. The IWC was alright, alike with all their insider comments during the promo battle. My question is, don't these insider comments kind of make Nikki look bad? I mean, they're talking about her not being in a relationship with John Cena, but did they break up like 10 years ago or something? But since she's been married and has a kid, why would she be so offended by this? Maybe I'm in the minority, but segments like this only very still build. P.S. this guy, you got a lot of nerve to give Joe a hard time by not having clips in his play. You've been doing shit like this for 8 years now, and you still have a single voice audio set up in all the podcast. I get suspended because you can't handle criticism for being such an asshole in this for way too long, and the food talk is effing boring. Alright, let's chill, let's do suspend him for a week, and let's do a diagnostics on the IP address to see if it's connected to Houston. Right? See if there's a huge ER still account. I didn't see the Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella Polo battle. How was it? Did you watch it back on it?
Yeah, it was last week. We went over it.
Oh, the one last week? Oh,
yeah. Where she buried him about being Messina.
Well, they kind of have to. They use that because of that show that was constant.
And then it gets a pop.
Which is, yeah. People like shit like that. You know? For the barrier, maybe, but like, you know, the
makes it really interesting, right?
Hey, yeah.
He's a heel.
Yeah. Yankees Robert Buchanan. You see the numbers of Savannah Bananas are getting? That's
yes, we did.
Unbelievable. It's crazy, isn't it? Thank you, some Robert Buchanan. Do you think the Braves could beat the Savannah Bananas? I did like it was funny. I shared a text with this buddy man who used to play for the Braves. I would always talk to him, they stink. We always call them bugs, they stink, you know.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was that like, they won 2 games in a row, and like we'll post like memes of like winning, like Trump did the defense winning. And then I go, we just won 2 in a row. Do you think you could beat the Savannah Bananas? Are you crazy?
You would think they learned something from them, right?
Right. So next is Robert Buchanan ready to rumble. Wrestling Rob here from New Jersey. My question is, with TKO, WWE, and UFC, is it time for Bruce Buffer? Starting matching championship matches like WC used to do in the 90s. With his brother, the legend Michael Buffer, I would assume that they won't really use the matches of big shows. Not really. You're not going to bring realism. Just because those guys, but honestly, their announcers are actually, their announcers are actually really good.
Oh, damn it. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I mean, in the 90s, having Buffer was something special.
Yeah, right.
Like you just said, they don't really
I don't know how to tell them.
special.
I can't do this.
Hey, we did thing.
Yeah, just gave it cachet. I actually wanted Bruce Buffer to do when Rhodes collide.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you what the problem.
How much does it cost?
I don't know. I didn't ask, but what I did find out very quickly, and that's why, you know, like you always say, don't let your skis get ahead of you. There's a budget, and you have to stay to that budget until you start making money. You know what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
So I had all these ideas, and they were like, "Yeah, you need to pull back on like 80% of your ideas."
Right. Yeah, we're not really going to put that much cash.
Right.
It's going to be gradual build.
Right.
We'll put them in, use that investment to make money, and then take the money that we make and put it back. Just, you know, we're not dumping like $1 billion into the AAA. Right. So, you know, so, because they say, hey, this is what we do. We can there's some things right off the bat we can improve without really spending a lot of money.
And bro, this will look nothing. What you're seeing, what you're gonna see on Saturday, will look nothing like in a year and in 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Next is from a Florida man. Stuff which is AEW's real problem. Hey, Kim and his group, WWE just announced their deal with ESPN, but this highlights AEW's real issue. When did they ever get big mainstream buzz? Now that WWE has their paws on ESPN, ESPN isn't going to bring in AEW since ESPN's goal now is to promote WWE+. What are your thoughts? Reminds me of what Bischoff told me about TNA when I went to the convention years back. No matter how good the shows are, it doesn't matter since TNA never got any mainstream attention. Thoughts? You go first, brother. Yeah. So, I just wondered, hey, let me tell you something. Remember when Tony brought up, like when they were talking about renegotiating stuff, and he was actually bringing up the cage match rating for a show, and how everybody was joking him because he wasn't done.
I never said.
So the actual thing that the actual CBS Twitter account, and the Fox on Sports Twitter account, both were making fun of it for bringing cage match ratings. Okay? And dude, like I said, they never get really any. Like the closest thing they got to mainstream press recently is they had John Gruden, you know, like unboxing the merchandise. Like they just there's no buzz. Tony's the one going out and doing all the media all the time. It's like, you know, I mean, it's the people just probably look at this guy or, you know, what he's selling, and it's like, this is not cool. You know, what shows you know talk about the WWE's the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling, and we're the that was an ESPN show, right?
It was ESPN.
Yeah, like Tony put them on ESPN. They brought the guy on, and he made him sound like a schmuck. You know, it's just like, so they're like, you know, so I don't know. It's just What is the real problem? The real problem is Charles doesn't really know exactly how to do this to generate, massive amount of fans like WWE stuff.
Bro, you know what I couldn't believe, and I'm not dunking on this guy in case somebody tells him and he thinks, oh, Conan's crying about. I couldn't believe, like, I was watching AEW. I don't know if it was Dynamite or Collision.
Damn.
That guy that I had said that was overweight, that was an MLW.
Oh, Hauser.
Bro, he was dressed there.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was dressed there as an announcer in a hoodie with no sleeve, pasty skin,
right.
Overweight,
Right,
not looking professional.
right.
And I'm like, and then you wonder why. Look at how Corey Graves looks, and Joe Tessitore looks, and
Yeah.
Booker looks. They're all in suits,
Yeah,
And when you're
Let's
comparing
just sit there and let me
WWE that everybody
make
knows
all of
about
this
has
world
heard
work.
up on to this
Yeah, that's right.
company
Move.
that
Take
unless
some
you're the
next.
hardest of the hardcore, or you happen to be working for them some capacity, you don't really know who they are.
right.
They do a really good job of branding themselves. I will say that.
I will say this, is that I didn't really value this back in the day because, and then plus maybe it's different today, too. But, bro, when we were on the road 250 days a year sometimes, when we traveled, bro, I was traveling for comfort, period. I had gym, light gym pants on, the long gym pants, cotton, like a cotton t-shirt, flip-flops with socks, so I could put my feet on the pillow in front of me and stuff. Like, so when they changed, like when I heard the WWE had a dress code, I was like, man, screw that, But there's a lot of value to that. Like when you see these guys, they look like they're rich. Everybody's dressed well out in public with appearances in the airport, And there is.
He must have been a stronger fighter.
I think there is value, Do you agree with that?
Yeah, bro. Look at Conor McGregor. He always looks sharp.
Right.
Oh, got him from behind.
This is a
Damn.
gimmick or whatnot. I'm sorry, I looked it up real quick, so it's off my phone. But this is him coming in at the ESPYs. He's got a sleeveless tux. So maybe he does a sleeveless thing on whatever he's wearing for major appearances. Maybe it's his gimmick. I don't know. But yeah.
It's like they got that, who's that guy, AJ Boone? Like, bro, they keep using that guy.
I don't know who.
And it's like, everybody's part of the ESPN now. Like AEW's like, I said it's indie wrestling elevator. So it's like indie wrestling on steroids. It's literally what it looks like now because some of the buildings are like look like old ECW tapings.
And they'll be at the ECW arena soon.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, they're doing a residency. They're doing like 6 shows at the ECW arena.
I mean, bro, there's nothing funnier to me than like these people online, like Data's talking about, like that it's a close race for promotion of the year this year. And you got one promotion running into ECW Arena for 6 weeks. They're doing 2 shows in stadiums for 100,000 people. I'm like, it's like, how could that even be the conversation? Which promotion is better?
7 shows, 3 Dynamite.
I'm gonna go out winning.
Ring of Honor. Looks like it's one of their major shows too.
Wow. Let's see if anybody there gets more heat than I did. Do I still have the second most heat you've ever heard about building this day, Joe?
I'd say so.
Wow. That is quite a... You know who actually put it over too? That DM'd me after I did that? I was shocked. Lance Storm actually DM'd me. I couldn't believe how much we get at the ECW Arena. Next is from Jesse Mitchell. Oh my God. You ready, Conan? Oh, by the way, what happened to your kazoo today?
It's you.
All right, here we go. You ready for this one? It's from Jesse Mitchell.
Right.
Subject, the Mitch is back. Did you Mitch me? I Mitched you. I know I've been Mitching. I know I've been Mitching in action the last few months, but I've actually been a Mitch fit in action.
All right.
One busy Mitch. Oh, the lifestyle of the Mitch and famous. I'm actually now in a very serious engagement with the Queen. Shout out. Anyways, you know I love you guys. You can catch every episode I can. Food talk is over, and I love it. A Mitch can eat. I'm trying to make this man time for my personal love, Chipotle. You guys rock with Chipotle? If so, what's your go-to order? The guac is fire. You got a mean? You got a holla. Many blessings to you and your families. Hugs and Mitches from Jesse Mitchell, a.k.a. the GME champion, Mitch Valentine. I will say this. I'm not a Chipotle guy. I went there one time and I got the bowl. The rice was like well done. Like it was, like every other Mexican joint has all the options that Chipotle sells already. And they're kind of like, it's kind of like light boy Mexican food. I like the Mexicans are, you know. Do you agree with that, Conan? Chipotle's a white boy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Right. You want to go for Mexicans are making Mexican food? Is that accurate?
Of course.
Makes sense.
The white boy Mexican.
Let me ask you a question.
I can't change it to what is known as the white boy Chinese.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah, no
You
way.
would say 100%. What's your favorite Mexican dish?
Oh my god.
You Chipotle fan, Joe?
I just had like a bowl at one time. Carne asada. That's it.
Burrito or taco?
Just on the plate. With the,
Oh, the plate.
yeah, with the meal.
I like my go-to is carne asada. My favorite Mexican thing is if I'm not getting the lengua taco. The lengua tacos. Do you know what lengua tacos, Jeff?
No, I don't think so.
Beef tongue tacos.
Okay.
That's the staple of the classic Mexican dish. I like to get the carne asada burrito with, okay, light beans, light rice, guacamole, sour cream, and salsa and cilantro. Cheap carne asada burrito. Does that sound good, Conan?
Yeah, it almost sounds like a California burrito.
It sounds like California style. That's what my favorite type. Like, sometimes these other the taco trucks, for some reason, the way they cook the burrito, it's always too spicy when I bite into the classic Mexican places. But I do like the California style burrito. Jorge Prado, substitute mailbag. What's up, crew? George from Vegas here. Can't help but be annoyed with WWE podcasters' YouTube etc. Dismiss negativity on social media and play it off as it does not matter. If WWE will brag about how many online views, comments, etc. they get on the clips, if it break a much, the question is, since Vince left WWE, the hottest time entertainment-wise for WWE has been WrestleMania 40 with The Rock involved. Since then, Triple H has not created any new stars. There's no indication of new stars in the making, and he has destroyed the Bloodline story, and Roman feels extremely weak now. Is he capable of creating stars himself? I mean, maybe, but you can't argue with what.
You don't consider Jacob Fatu and Braun Baker new stars?
Yeah. I wouldn't say they're any stars like right
They're on their way.
now.
Somebody's on fire, yeah.
Fucking way.
Absolutely on their way, so we shall see. No, but bro, the deal was that was all very classic, great creative stuff. Like you don't, bro, there's not great creative in wrestling. You go back 25 years, okay? There's a lot of great creative between 1996 and 2000, right? In both shows.
Can't find the notes.
Right? Especially, so the rise of Goldberg, the rise of Stone Cold, the rise of Steve Austin.
44,
Okay?
28,
The rise of The Rock, too.
NWO, President.
Yeah. In the NWO,
44.
right? Okay, so then we go through periods of time where there's just not like, there hasn't been a super strong storyline like that. Then the Bloodline story came along, right? So that was really good creative, and it lasted for like 3 years. But it's like, dude, it's like there's these pockets of exceptional creative, but the rest of it's all kind of basic and just kind of average little spots here and there, you know? So, I think you just can't be. Every criticism that we have would be countered by them just saying, we just signed a 10-year, $5 billion Netflix deal, we just had an ESPN deal, we just like, all our metrics are. So you can argue all you want, but it doesn't really change the fact that we're making a fortune, which is ultimately what everybody that works there wants to do, is to make a fortune. Do you agree with that, Conan?
Yep.
Next is from Junior Mendoza, subject is Triple H. What's up, fellas? Question. Do you guys think Triple H has it? It's hit his first wall in his booking. He's known for long-term booking, and lately his booking hasn't been what we expect from him. Like he's rushing everything. Most PLE matches don't feel like PLE matches. They feel like the random matches on Raw or SmackDown. Yeah, like I said, like we ain't going to go over everything that we're interested in going into each pay-per-view, and it's usually like about, when it's good, 75% of the stuff we're interested in. It's not 50% stuff that we're interested, but I'm not going to sit here when they're selling out and say the 50% that I'm not interested in is more important than the 50% that I am. Because the top content is driving that audience, and it's been good enough. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Junior, can you write again and kind of explain what you mean when you say his booking hasn't been what you expected?
Yeah,
You didn't really explain it on
right.
Yeah.
So I don't really expect that. Because any booker, what they're expected is to sell out.
Yeah.
So, like, let me ask you a question, Conan. What triggered a turnaround? Like, how is AAA business? Like, what percentage of the arenas are full now? And let's go back 2 years ago to what the attendance was, and go back last year to see what the attendance was, and this year. And what triggered whatever trend year over year that they're increasing.
Yep, he's eliminating. More coming.
If the arenas right now are sold out, you're drawing, let's say you're drawing 95% full this year. Would that be accurate?
Say that one more time.
Like your arenas right now lately have been 95% full. Is that accurate?
The majority, yeah.
Okay, all right. So last year, what was that? Probably.
Same thing. We've been hot for 2 years.
Okay, the year before that, what percentage?
So what happened was that we were hot for like 5 or 6 years, right? Doing good business, 80%, you know, solid, right? Good solid business, nothing to worry about, and then we had 1 year, which was maybe 3 years ago, where it wasn't as good as the other 6 years. So they did this nostalgia thing where they started to bring back like I actually started it first by bringing back guys from our past with nostalgia themselves. But then the company came up with the idea of doing nostalgia like from the first match to the last match. But that has a shelf like
yeah, because the guys are old.
Right.
Out there, right?
You see them so many times, right?
Right.
So then we came up with the idea of the I, which was me, ADR, Dorian, Messias.
Oh, the side of the faction.
Right.
Like we're behind the scenes.
Right.
The I, like, right.
And now WWE's come in.
Now we're out of here.
You know, it's been hot for the last 2 years.
Right. How good is ADR for business?
Great.
Next is from Mr. Torres. You know what's actually, to go back to one of the questions, I'd love to hear Michael Buffer announce Triple H because he always pronounces Mexican very well. You know?
Yeah.
Next is from, because he speaks Spanish too.
Word.
He like reads the Spanish introduction. So, Mr. Torres.
Wrestling tomorrow.
What's going on?
Hopefully nothing goes wrong.
Chris in Arlington, Texas. Alongside of my cousin Edgar. We had a question, but first let me explain. We called Busted Open because they had a segment everybody.
Hopefully I don't have an idiot that shits
We
down.
wanted you to get your flowers, and when we asked Dave, he said he would love to, but he knows that you're not a morning person. Laughed my ass off. So do you think you could do this? Do it this one time because we love to see you get your flowers, big dog.
You either give me my flowers
and again, this comes from Chris. This comes from Chris and Edgar from